Let's read Mickey Mouse, A Magical Story. What do you see in the picture? I see Goofy and Mickey Mouse and a fire truck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie and a clock. Here we go. Let's paint stripes on the old truck, Huey exclaimed. Mickey Mouse laughed. Hold it, he said. We still want it to look like a fire truck. Mickey was on his way to the firehouse with Donald Duck's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They had offered to decorate an antique fire truck for the Town Day parade the next day. Uncle Donald is working on a top-secret parade float, said Louie. He won't let us see it. Don't worry, Mickey answered. Our fine old truck will be the pride of the parade. Mickey and the others arrived just in time to see their friend Goofy slide down the brass pole in the middle of the firehouse. Hiya, gang, said Goofy. Goofy is a junior volunteer, just like me, Mickey told the boys, as he leaned over to pat a friendly Dalmatian. This is Freckles, the firehouse's mascot. See the puppy? Here's our parade truck, Goofy grinned as he led the boys to an old-fashioned pumper truck. Isn't she a beauty? Mickey started polishing the truck while Goofy and the boys went to work on the decorations. Does this truck still work? Asked one of the boys. Mickey nodded. Yes, it works, but it's not as fast nor as powerful as the newer truck. Now we just use it for parades. Mickey's cleaning it. Getting it ready. After a while, Mickey and the others walked over to look at the shiny modern fire truck. So this is the hook and ladder truck, said Goofy. Of course, the one behind it is the pumper truck. Goofy, you have it backwards, said Mickey. This is the pumper truck. Boys, it has a powerful pump in it to force the water through the hoses. Can you tell why it's a pumper truck? Because it has hoses. Can you see that? Wow. It must be hard work being a firefighter, Louie said. It sure is, Goofy responded proudly. Do you remember when the big hotel caught fire? We had to rescue about 20 people. I even saved Mrs. Porter's parakeet. You see the bird? Wow, he's brave. Gosh, Goofy, said Mickey, if I remember right, the regular firefighters rescued the parakeet. They just gave it to you to hold. Well, but I was a big help, Goofy insisted. I went and found Mrs. Potter and gave her back her bird. Then Goofy changed the subject. I'll tell you another story, boys, he said. A couple of years ago, there was a big fire in the park outside town. What happened? The boys asked eagerly. A campfire roared out of control, said Goofy, but I rushed boldly into the forest. That night, we saved the woods from being burned to the ground. I remember that night, said Mickey. It was cold. You and I passed blankets out to the campers. I don't remember doing much else. Goofy looked embarrassed. After that, he didn't tell any more stories. He and the others finally finished decorating the truck and headed home together. Everybody looked forward to the next day, the day of the big parade. The following day, the whole town turned out to watch the parade. The antique truck led the way with Mickey at the wheel. The boys were allowed to ride in the back with Goofy. "We're going to win the blue ribbon for the best parade entry," said Huey. He looked back over his shoulder. Uncle Donald's float doesn't have a chance. Donald's float was just behind the fire truck. He had mounted a spaceship on his old pickup truck. "Hey, Donald," someone called from the crowd, "is that a real rocket ship?" "Almost," Donald answered proudly. "Get a good look. My float is going to send the judges to the moon." Donald drove his wobbly rocket on down the street, and sparks were flying everywhere. The sign says moon or bust. Suddenly, the rocket caught fire, and within seconds, the whole float was in flames. "Help!" squawked Donald. "Fire!" "I'll save you," Goofy cried. As Mickey pulled to a stop, Goofy jumped off the fire truck. He grabbed one of the old truck hoses and hooked it to a nearby hydrant. Then Goofy began spraying Donald's float with water. Before long, the fire was completely out. Goofy is a firefighter. Goofy was a hero at last. During the award ceremony after the parade, the mayor asked him to come forward. "Goofy, I'd like you to accept this blue ribbon on with our thanks," said the mayor. "You were very brave today. In fact, you're the bravest junior volunteer who ever held a hose." Yay! The end. I see Mickey and Goofy and Huey and Dewey and Louie and the mayor and Donald and the fireman. The end.